For months now, some of you guys have been telling me to try the Shadow SK out in Endgame, but honestly I wasn't sure if it would be any good, but after spending some time using it, it might just be one of the new meta weapons in Endgame. I try not to slip into the trap of making constant meta videos and try brand everything as meta on my channel, but it is safe to say that this build is certainly video worthy. So let's get straight into it with the best skill layout, attachments and exotic effect and utility bonuses for the Shadow SK in Endgame. Then when I've gone over everything, I'll let a solo playthrough of the prime target glitch fracture play out at the end, with no commentary so you can see how good the weapon is against the hardest enemies in the game. Let's start with the build I have for the Shadow SK. I don't think that attachments do much for the weapon in Endgame. Their true power comes from the skill track skills and the utility bonus and exotic effects that you can apply, but some attachments will 100% boost damage and offer recoil control, etc. So here is the build. For the optic, I've got the Fang hover point as it's a nice clear sight to use and helps with recoil stabilization. The muzzle is the LTI Stenthorn brake, which is going to boost fire rate, improve bullet deviation and horizontal recoil control. The barrel is the 18.3 inch dimpled 4 as it improves damage range and bullet velocity. For the magazine, I've gone with the Targil extended mag that will increase the mag size to 12 but not have too many penalties. The comb is the Shadow SK 12 gauge master. This will turn your underbarrel into a shotgun, which is fun to switch to. For the rear grip, I've got the steepled comfort grip that improves general recoil. The laser is the 5MW lockstep laser for better hip fire accuracy. And finally, the LW trigger for the fire mods, as again this one increases your fire rate. Moving on to skill tracks. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I absolutely swear by two skill tracks in Endgame. This is Eagle Eye and Bulldozer. Both skills are going to give you insane damage boosts and a little bit of added protection too. The base critical hit damage output for this weapon is going to be between 15,000 and 30,000 damage. By using Bulldozer, you'll get bonus damage from the skill called Point Blank. Point Blank will double your damage when you are up close to the enemy, which means you'll be doing between 30,000 and 60,000 damage per headshot with the Shadow SK and Bulldozer applied. Bulldozer also has the explosive resistance skill that will protect you against explosive damage, including your own, which is a very handy skill to have. I'd recommend the reboot as your secondary with grenade bullets for crowd control to go with the Shadow SK, so having explosive resistance is a bonus. Now let's add Eagle Eye into the mix with its crit damage increase skill. Eagle Eye is going to drastically improve your critical hit damage on top of Bulldozer's point blank damage. In fact, you could be getting up to 120,000 damage per critical hit with both skill tracks working together when up close to enemies and hitting headshots. Now let's move on to the exotic effect and utility bonus I'd recommend for the Shadow SK. For the exotic effect, I'd recommend you roll the Shadow SK until you get mortar rounds, as mortar rounds are great for crowd control as it lets off a flurry of fireworks that instantly kills multiple enemies at once, which can come in handy when you are focusing on bosses as it takes out the enemies around it. Shrapnel rounds and graviton rounds both work well with this build as well for similar reasons, but mortar rounds are the best in my opinion. As for the utility bonus, when discussing sniper rifles there can only really be one choice: sharpshooter. Adding sharpshooter is going to make this build absolutely insane. Sharpshooter will turn upper torso shots into critical hits, so you'll be doing way more critical hit shots that will then be boosted in damage by Bulldozer and Eagle Eye. There are only a few small downsides to the Shadow SK in my opinion. The first is the mag size. You're only getting 24 rounds per mag, so you'll find yourself reloading often, but the reload time is fast, so it doesn't feel too taxing. The second thing is that it's a single fire weapon, so you do have to pull the trigger or click the mouse each time you take a shot. You can't just hold down the fire button. The last small minor thing I have to say against the Shadow SK is that the fire rate is pretty slow. I applied two attachments to it to speed it up and Run Berserker, which has a skill that speeds up the fire rate, but it still feels pretty timely. But all three problems are pretty minor and it wouldn't stop me from using the Shadow SK going forward. It deals with everything from from standard enemies all the way up to glitch bosses with its extreme damage that can range from 30,000 up to 120,000 with this setup. It almost feels like a vintage XR3 Ion with this level of damage output. I'm not sure it tops that at the height of its game, but it's certainly a top 5 meta weapon now. Okay, so I'm going to let the unedited glitch run play out in the background now with no commentary. It wasn't quite a flawless run as I did go down a few times, but the Shadow SK really sped up the run with its high damage. For this run, I am using a Prestige 1 operator with Bulldozer, Berserker, Eagle Eye, Echo Shell, Shattered Shield and Chaos rounds. I'll be uploading a ton more Endgame videos in the coming days and weeks, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out. You can find the link to my Discord server in the description below. There are over 700 members in there, so if you are looking for teammates or just want to discuss Endgame further, feel free to jump in. You can now also support the channel further by becoming a member and get some additional bonuses for the channel. Again, the link to the membership page is down below. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.
Objective: eliminate severe corruption. Objective: kill enemies and collect drop shards. Objective: eliminate severe corruption. Objective: kill enemies and collect drop shards. Objective: eliminate severe corruption. Objective: kill enemies and collect drop shards.
Get down! Sniper! They're on me! I'm wounded!
Objective: eliminate severe corruption.
Go! Incoming fire!
Objective complete. Severe corruption eliminated. In danger. Corrupted data sectors detected. Prepare yourself. Be advised. Zone available.
Point turret installed! I'm hit!
available.
Incoming fire!
Engaging hostile.
I'm hit! They're on me! I'm not fucking dead here!
RPG ready. Zone available.
Incoming fire! They're on me! Incoming fire! They're on me!
Danger. Corrupted data sectors detected. Prepare yourself.
I'm hit!
Glad to see you made it, soldier. You've exposed the true nature of the central command node. We can't access it through a glitch because it's a physical device we need to locate.